G'day guys, Luke here. Welcome back to another video. In today's guys, we are checking out the Reptile update for February 2026. Let's jump in and see how everyone's doing. For today's video, we will start with the she-oaks. Now, this is not every single she-oak that I have. There is one more you see later in the video, but this is where the majority are kept. Now, with all these small enclosures here, they're 30 by 30 by 27 enclosures. Each one of them has one she-oak in the enclosure. The top one up here is 50 by 30 by 25. This houses 3 of my adult she-oaks together that get along just fine. With this one up here is coconut fibre as a substrate. Well, every single one of them is coconut fibre. They've got multiple hides in here as there's multiple animals. Got the food bowl, water bowl, sphagnum moss, the LED UV light bars. Now I have taken the lid off just so you guys can see these guys a bit better. And there's a heat cord that kind of runs throughout the shelf. So there's heat towards the back of each enclosure. And of course, the cooler is the front. So this is the 30 by 30 by 20s. Hide, sphagnum moss, food bowl, water bowl, bit of bark. And I do wet down the coconut fibre to one end, ideally the cool end. That way these guys can retreat into the moisture, which actually I find enjoy. We'll start with the top one. Just underneath this hide here with the cranky she-oak in the name of Ghost. Ghost has attitude and oftentimes will bite me out of spite. Not a friendly fellow, but then his 2 cage mates are actually curled up together. So the big fat one here is Gum, very sweet little she-oak, doesn't seem to mind the little pats. Then the slender one is Jara, a very shy little she-oak that doesn't really come out that often, mostly for food. And now we've got Gum deciding to harass Ghost. So we're from Jara to Ghost. Anyway, we'll move on and see all the other she-oaks. So this one here is Callispo, a very friendly she-oak, will often come out as soon as they have food. Then next door to her we have Pearl, likes to hide under here. There she is. Another cute little she-oak that also will come out every time I have food. Another one that has attitude is Will. Even though Will's a more pretty one, he does have a bit of anger issues at times. Kind of takes after Ghost in a way. Then we've got Jack, a very calm one and that, very dull, but still a very pretty little lizard. Davey's gone into the sphagnum moss here, so I'll just move that out of the way. Another one that will come over begging for food every time I sees me walk in with the food bowls, which are just bottle cap lids. Works for them quite easily. Then the shyest of them all, we have Barbosa. There he is. Don't see this guy out much, but it's always good to see an empty food bowl at the end of the day. Moving down to the next shelf, we've got a pair of 67 enclosures to go through. They house my Cunningham skinks, Meatlug and Toothless. The one we're looking at right now is Toothless. Toothless here is the friendly Cunningham skink. We'll go over to his neighbour Meatlug, who is the unfriendly Cunningham skink. Where is he? There he is. Now with Meatlug here, if I were to pick him up, he will bite me, so it's best to leave him be. But both Cunninghams are doing quite well. Now regarding to their setups, like I said before, it is 60 centimetres in their enclosures with the aspen bedding as a substrate. Food bowl, water bowl, there is a proper hide. They've got a backing to, I guess, display the enclosure better. Then a fake rock sack that these two can go into to hide, which is what they're both doing right now. They've got a UVB light bar on top of their enclosures. And then they both share a heat pad, which is just tucked away right here in the middle. But that is Toothless and Meatlug. The next 2 animals we'll cover off are my 2 spine-tailed geckos, Charcoal and Luna. So they're both currently housed in their own little acrylic tubs each. In each enclosure, they have their sand as a substrate, a hide, there's a couple of branches, a water bowl. In Luna's enclosure, got a fake plant. Then there's Charcoal's enclosure, he likes it a bit more simple. These guys share a heat pad on the shelf, which is kind of awkward to get to. That's why I pulled them out. Luna is a female. She likes to come out and hunt. A very confident little gecko, always out and about. Then Charcoal is more secretive. He doesn't like to come out as frequently. But there he is. Both geckos do change their colour on a couple of different reasons. Either when they're nice and happy and warm, they've got like almost a light grey colour. When they're trying to blend in and it's quite dark, they go with a dark coloration. So I give the name Charcoal. Charcoal will sometimes resemble charcoal in colour. This 127 enclosure, which is a 4-foot enclosure, houses our 2 beautiful sugarbucks, Monty and Anastasia. Monty, being our boy, he's a very shy shingleback. Then our beautiful girl, Anastasia over here, she's more the social one. She likes her little chin scratches and the little pats, also the exercise. Monty here, when we get him out, he just likes to poop on my bed or on the floor, wherever he likes. In the enclosure, we have the aspen bedding as a substrate, food bowl, water bowl, a log hide, that's more their cool hide, that they'll sleep sometimes. More often than not, they'll both sleep in their hot hide, which is this rock one here, either inside or on top, wherever they want. Got their backing, got the LED UVB light bar, and a ceramic for heat. But those are our two beautiful shinglebacks. We are up to the diva of the reptile room, and she's not very happy at the moment, so not too sure why. It could be the fact that I changed the water bowl or having a camera on her face, so she's showing me the look. So we'll back away. She's housed in a 147 enclosure, so shy of being 5 feet. In the enclosure, we've got that coconut fibre as a substrate. Her water bowl. Now, since she's getting a bit old, she's not as agile as she used to be, so her branches are now lowered, and we have put a rock in the pond, as well as surrounded the pond with rocks and bricks, just to help her get in and out of the water bowl. Plus, when she does fall, she doesn't have to fall far now. We'll have a fake plant, a diva sign, because she is a diva. Food bowl, a log that she'll sit on for basking, her hide, backing, her heat, and her UVB as well. We have another 147 enclosure cover off. This time housing my black-headed monitor Dusty, who is hiding this hollow log right here, having no interest in taking part in this video. But there he is, a very shy little guy, so we don't want to freak him out too much. So we'll leave him be. So we're going to his setup. We have sand as a substrate. We have 4 hides for him to retreat into. There's one over here, one in the corner, and then the 2 hollow logs that he can go into, such as the one he's in now. We have his food bowl, water bowl, fake plants, branches here that he can climb on, since he is an arboreal species. Got his UVB as well as his heat as well, along with a backing. That actually sets up the enclosure quite nicely. The little fella we're checking out right now, his name is Thumper. He is a Gigi-Sink. For some reason lately he's starting to give me a bit more attitude, but saying that, we need more characters in the reptile room. He's currently housed in a 67 enclosure, so a 2-foot enclosure. In his enclosure, stands the substrate, his food bowl, water bowl, a little mushroom ornament to decorate the enclosure. So a hide there, a fake rock stack that he loves to kind of jam himself into, as a very similar idea for the Cunninghams. He's got his backing, heat and UV. He's a bit of a cheeky boy, but we love him. He's like a champion at some days. Today, not really, so he's probably decided to skip a meal today. Onto his neighbour named Pedro. Now Pedro, he is a pink tongue skink. He's also housed in a 67 enclosure. Here he is. He's more of a nocturnal species, so he doesn't come out till much later of an afternoon or early evening. Eating like a champion now. He was off food for a little period, so he's demolished his food bowl from last night. So he's got his food bowl, water bowl, 3 places to hide, 2 on the ground, 1 in the backing that I've incorporated a cave system into. Got his heat. Now he has a light strip just on top of the enclosure to display the enclosure. Fake plants, as well as aspen bedding once more for substrate. We have another 67 enclosure to go through, this time housing my little diamond python Aurora. Fingers crossed Aurora here is a female, because I would love to breed diamond pythons in the future. I swear every time I feed Aurora she gets even bigger, bigger. Well, that's the idea, is for her to grow, but she's grown at such a rapid rate, it's kind of funny actually. So in her enclosure we've got the aspen bedding yet again, a water bowl, branches for her to climb onto, a backing. Being a diamond python, she does require UVB. She's got a hide, and underneath the enclosure to the corner there, we have a heat mat for heat. As she gets older, she will get bigger and requiring a bigger cage. Our next 3 animals we're going to cover off are my blue tongues. So this top cage up here, we'll get back to in a moment. That houses my lowland blotch blue tongue Blaine. But we'll cover off the 2 eastern blue tongues first. So this one, his name is Bo. Now Bo here, as of today, is the 26th of January. Marks 15 years that we had Bo, so happy 15th birthday Bo. Below him we've got Billy. Now Billy here is a funny bugger. When she first came into our care, she was very small, had half a tail missing, and had a 50-50 chance of survival. But since we've had her, she has thrived, and she's gotten quite large, bigger than Bo, more chaotic than Bo, but still a very happy and beautiful blue tongue. Bo up here, he's a very calm old boy. He just sleeps for the most part, walks around, sometimes moves his food bowl for no reason. Very easygoing blue tongue, don't have to worry too much about him. So with both Bo and Billy's setups, they're both housed in a 127 enclosure, so another 4-foot cage. In the enclosure, we've got the aspen bedding yet again. They each have a hide that they go into to sleep. A couple of rocks in the enclosure just to help wear down their nails. Unfortunately with Bo's, they get quite long, so every once in a while we do have to trim his. A food bowl, water bowl, backing the UVB. The only difference is Bo has a heat element while Billy down here has a heat mat. But saying that, their enclosures were quite identical overall. We have Blaine, the lowland blotched blue tongue, housed in a 90 centimetre enclosure, so a 3-foot enclosure. Being a small, shy little blue tongue, she has 2 hides to retreat into. We've got a food bowl, water bowl, substrate, backing, her UVB, and she has a heat pad currently where she's sleeping at the moment. Just shed her skin the other day, so she's looking very beautiful, very fresh. Like I said, very shy little blue tongue, but when she does have the confidence, she'll come out and explore her house. And every now and again, I will say hello to her before she runs and hides. However, if my mum walks into the room, she'll actually stay out longer, which is quite funny. So those are the 3 little blue tongues. Making our way to the very top shelf on this shelving unit, we have these 4 small enclosures to cover off. Starting with this one here, that houses 6 baby Gibson war dragons that will soon be moved on to their forever homes. At the moment, just raising them up, make sure they're eating, running around, being quite established, as I want to send them off when they're nice and strong. All very cheeky, very cute, so there's going to be a sad day when they be moved on. They're housed in a 50 centimetre enclosure, very much like the adult sheds we saw earlier in the video. They have 2 hides, a water bowl, sands of substrate, a bendy vine. At this stage, I'm just feeding them live crickets, very small ones at that. A backing. Since it's warm on the top shelf, I'm not worried about heating for these guys, and they get light from the light bar on top. Then this little cage next door to them, these are 2 baby Gibsons I'm going to keep back. The one in this corner here, his name is Tinsel. She was born on Christmas Day. Every other baby was born on Boxing Day. And unfortunately, the one you probably would have seen, there we go. So that one right there is Belle. So fun fact, Tinsel was the firstborn, while Belle was the lastborn. So I thought I'm going to keep those 2. The other 6, sadly have to move on since I can't keep them all. But eventually when these guys do go, these guys will move up into this, and then eventually as they get older, I will upgrade them. Now this one here is Elizabeth. She's the other she-oak skink we have mentioned in the video. Now I'm just going to go and find her. And there she is. Very mischievous little blue tongue, not blue tongue, she-oak. She got into a scuffle with Callisto, causing poor Callisto to lose half her tail. But luckily since then, Callisto has grown it back and it's not as beautiful as her original tail. The last little lizard we're covering off in this room before we move on to the Gibson War Dragons outdoors and the snakes. We have Sui, who is my sand swimmer. She's also housed in a 50 centimetre enclosure. In her enclosure, we have 3 hides for her to go into. So there's one in the back corner there, one in the front, a bit of bark she can go into. There's about 2 to 3 inches of sand for her to burrow into, so she can retreat to any part of the cave she wants. In the back corner there, she has a heat pad with Elizabeth. There's a fake plant, her water bowl, her backing, and being a nocturnal skink, she only comes out during the night time. She's actually doing exceptionally well at the moment. Don't see her out during the day, only at night time like I just said. Feeding mostly on crickets, so hopefully I can get a clip of her running around eating. But let's move on to the other half of the family. Making our way to the outdoor enclosure. So this is my Gibson War Dragon enclosure. So it's 180 centimetres by 90 by 90 centimetres. So that's 6 by 3 by 3 foot. Got a shade cloth over the top of the enclosure. Some fans as well to provide some airflow. So this is the inside of the enclosure, how it looks. So a nice big pond down the front here for them to go and have a bit of a swim. Sands of substrate, there's branches, there's a hammock in there as well to provide them some climbing opportunities. There's rocks from the bask on. Got a hot box in there, so in the winter time I can provide a bit of heat for them. So this is how it basically looks. Also a foam backing to add a bit of decoration to the enclosure. They can get on top of the hot box and get a bit of height. So that's where Bruce is currently. Having a closer look at my beautiful Gibson War Dragons. This is Bruce, he's the big dominant male. Wasn't happy to see me. This is Lime. She's a very easygoing female Gibson War Dragon. She doesn't mind being picked up from time to time, but she still has her days. Next girl we've got is Shigo. She's the bigger girl, often more quieter. She only comes out during the morning. Unfortunately, she lost her crest during a mating attempt with Bruce, I believe. But still, she's a beautiful girl, and she'll be fine. Then this is the most probably cheeky one of them all. This is Gamora. Unfortunately, she lost a bit of a snout. She's been nose rubbing in the enclosure. I have since fixed the problem, so in the next video or next Reptile update, you'll see the new modifications to the enclosure. So hopefully that'll prevent that from happening again. But that is the Gibson War Dragons. Into the snake room we go, starting on this shelving unit here. We go to the top with these pair of 77 enclosures. Now this houses my two brown tree snakes, Willow and Diablo. Now with both of these snakes, we go into their setup. We've got a heat pad to one end for heat. They've got multiple hides in the enclosure to retreat into. They've got a water bowl that's been embedded to substrate, fake plants, branches. They've got a light strip that's shared with pretty much half the room. There's a backing that I've incorporated a case system into it, which I feel quite happy with. But that's how overall their setups is. We go over to Willow first. This is her layout, a little different to Diablo's, who we'll see in a minute. Willow's just sleeping in a cool hide at the moment. Here she is, just tucking her head away. Now Willow here, she's starting to eat once more. Now Willow, her personality is a bit on the snappier side, so don't want to spend too much time with a camera in her face, otherwise she might lunge out and start biting. But we're working with her slowly but surely. Then her partner in crime, pretty much the polar opposite to her, very calm, very easygoing brown tree snake. This is his layout, a bit more, I guess, natural looking to compared to Willow's. Here he is, Diablo. Don't let the name fool you, he's probably one of the sweetest brown tree snakes I've ever met. Very food motivated little guy though, he loves his fuzzy mice. When I get him out, he likes to just cling on to me and not move. He's a sweet boy. But those are the brown tree snakes. Below Willow and Diablo in this pair of 67 enclosures, we've got two male antirrheas to go through. We start over here on the left hand side with Caesar, who is the male blonde spotted python. Currently in shed, and luckily he's in this hide today so we can easily see him better. Oh no, he's coming out. There's Caesar. So he's normally quite a shy blonde spotted python. Can have a bit of a temperament too, so I don't want to push his buttons today. But in his enclosure, we've got that's been bedding yet again. He's got a heat pad to this side, 3 hides, a fake plant, a rock, water bowl, a backing. He shares a light strip with pretty much everybody. So it starts with Valentino, loops around all the way over here. We'll get to that in a minute. His name by Valentino is a little male blonde, children's python. This is his setup, pretty much the same stuff as Caesar or everybody else. I think he's also in shed because I haven't seen him the last few days. No, it doesn't look like he's in shed. There he is. So he's the son to Emma and also Azula. But unfortunately, we lost Azula last year, so we stayed about that because it was a nice little family unit we had. But he's doing quite well. He's got the temperament of his dad, or the food response of his dad, but the sweetness of his mother. Even though I said this was my snake room, it's also technically my goanna room, as 2 of the 3 goannas that I have are housed in this very room. The one we're looking at here is Ambrosio. He's my ridge-tail monitor. Apart from being a fat little boy, he's also a very good boy, doing quite well. Funny enough, hasn't grown much, so I believe he was a runt from his litter, but doesn't matter, he's still quite healthy in my opinion. He's housed in a 4-foot enclosure, so 120 centimetres. In his enclosure, we have the sand, it's a very fine grain sand, a fake rocky outcrop he can hide into, fake plants, his branches he will climb onto, got his water bowl. This hide over here I'll put some wet sand into so he can have a bit of a dig, bit of a humid hide just to aid in shedding. Then above him as well we've got his heat and UVB. Going from our smallest goanna to our biggest, this is Ray. Now Ray here is my Rosenberg monitor. At the moment he's just vibing out, just underneath his heat, relaxing. He's soon to go outside. He's currently in a 180 centimetre by 60 by 67 enclosure. The enclosure I'm looking at building, it's in the design phase, will be 180 centimetres long, but should be about 120 centimetres deep by 90 centimetres tall. It's about twice the size of what he's in now, and hopefully that'll be his forever home. At the moment, in his current enclosure, where his heat, UVB, got a couple of hides in here for him. I say 1 hide in here, a couple of rocks. So his fake plant that he's destroyed, water bowl, a hammock, his log and a backing. Looks quite sad, but hopefully when he goes outside, he will have a looking enclosure. We have another 180 centimetre enclosure to go through, this time housing my black-headed python Chris. He decided to come out for the video. Hello beautiful girl. She's doing quite well, smashing food like a champion. When there's no food, she's a beautiful snake. I can get her out, hold her, and she's very placid. But as soon as you get food, she becomes a very different beast. And that's when you've got to stay on your toes, because if you let your guard down, she'll get you. She's probably pushing about 8 feet in length, so she's a big girl, but still a beautiful girl. In her enclosure, what that's been bedding as a substrate, 2 giant hides in here for her to go into. Belly still fits in these. A water bowl, a fake plant, a branch that she'll use for exercise. This backing that sets off the enclosure quite nicely. Display light, and we've got a heat over here. This 100 centimetre enclosure houses my breeding pair of children pythons named Aaron and Emma. Unfortunately, the eggs that Aaron produced for me this season didn't make it, so unfortunately we didn't get any babies of them this year. However, there's always next year. In the enclosure, we've got the aspen bedding yet again. As you can tell, it's my favourite snake substrate. This is their warm hide right here, as the ceramic sits above here. We've got fake plants, a backing, a light strip, water bowl. This rock stack here that's all fake, so it doesn't hurt the snakes. It's all secured, so they shouldn't fall apart. And you can tell both snakes are loving it. So if I can get a good camera angle here, you might be able to see both snakes in one shot. So this one up here, in the top hide, this is Erin. She's the female. Very beautiful girl by nature. Of course, she's hiding her pretty little face. Show your face, darling. Erin. There we go. Camera's out of focus, of course, so this I can still keep her there. There she is. And then her boyfriend down here, Emma. He's a cheeky young man. Like I said earlier in the video, he is the father to Valentino. So it kind of gets you to see the resemblance between the two. But hopefully next season when these two lock up again, I'm interested to see what babies they produce, since they look quite similar to each other. Just next door to Aaron and Emma, we've got the 2 oldest snakes in the family. Well, the 2 oldest reptiles in general, Superstar and Graham, my 2 female blonde-spotted pythons. So this beautiful girl here coming over saying hello is Graham. She was my second ever reptile. Then my first one's just right here, my first child, Superstar. So it'll be 16 years next month we've had Superstar in the family, and she's pretty much the one who started it all, so still great to have her 16 years on. She's still off food currently, but you can tell she's still quite reasonably healthy. Graham is now back on the food, eating, and hopefully she'll start gaining weight before she goes off again. Around April is usually when she goes off food. They're both housed in the 90 centimetre enclosure, so it's a 3-foot cage. He'll sort of sell us out, so it'll be alright. There's 3 hides in here for them to go into. There's their favourite, so that one, because they both can sit quite comfortably in there together. Got a water bowl, branch, rock, log, fake plant, backing, heat and display light. But that's not much to Superstar and Graham. So we've got a couple more snakes in here to do, and that's really about it. To wrap up the video, we've got a pair of 120 centimetre enclosures to go through. We'll get to this one in a minute. We'll go back down to this enclosure here that houses my 2 male diamond pythons. Their names are Atrum and Aurelia. So the high yellow one here, this is Aurelia. Then the darker one there is Atrum. So that one's head, that's Atrum. And then that's Aurelia. Both boys are a bit cranky this morning since I woke them up. Normally they're quite placid, quite easygoing snakes. Today they're just not happy to see me. So both snakes are kind of funny when it comes to feeding, as they're kind of different to each other. Aurelia, no issue whatsoever. He'll smash food, doesn't ask questions. Atrum, however, likes a rat at a certain temperature, has to be given a certain way. Can't feed him in a tub because he won't eat, has to be fed in his cage. Oh, he's a bit of a nightmare to feed. But when I get both of these snakes out, they're quite beautiful by temperament. In their enclosure, we've got 3 big hides in here for them to go into. We've got the coconut fibre as a substrate. There you go, guys, something different to see. We've got their water bowl, their branch, the UVB light bars in here, as diamond pythons do require UVB. Got their heat and the backing. So those are the diamond pythons done. We'll go up and see my beautiful pair of central carpet pythons, Chappie and Orchid. So the one on the left hand side there, that's Chappie, and Orchid's the one on the right hand side. So a bit of a better look at the two. So Chappie's more that classic looking Bredli. Then Orchid is kind of somewhat classed as a hypo Bredli, but still retains a bit of black, so she's a complete hypo, but some people argue saying she's close enough as it is, so it counts. Funny enough, if you look at these two quite carefully, Chappie has more of like a bluish tinge eyes, Orchid's are more green, so it's quite fascinating. Every baby I had these guys produced so far all had green eyes like Orchid. I'm waiting to see like a blue-eyed baby. And then we pretty much Chappie's genetics playing a role there. Kind of interesting to note. Anyway, I'll stop gas bagging about them. This is their setup. So we've got the water bowl here, the aspen bedding once more, branches from them to climb onto. Now, I left the nest box in here because I found out these two like to sit on top of it. So I thought, I'll just leave it in there. And it looks okay, it looks like a little shed, so it works. Got fake plants, and then of course a light and ceramic on top of there. Oh, sorry, got a light on top of there, and the ceramic is right there to keep them nice and warm. But that is everybody done and dusted. That would be it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next video.